Hello, Jackie.
Hello, Jen. How are you?
I'm very well. More to the point, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Really well. I'm still
Good.
riding that wonderful wave from TEDx. So yeah, very.
Fantastic. Good. So you should be. So you should be. So thanks for joining me today. And I know we had a chat the other day, and you were interviewing me, but I was really interested to share with everybody, because obviously I got a bit of a chance to chat with you at TEDx, but really interested to share with everybody a bit more about you, because you've got a fascinating story, and obviously I had the pleasure of seeing your TEDx talk. So, Jackie, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you. And before we start, thank you so much, Jen, for taking the time to do this. Really great to be here. So my name's Jackie Handy, and I am now a professional speaker and training consultant, amongst many things. I have a career kind of spanning around about 20 years across the recruitment, leadership and sales and service fields. That's kind of my bag, if you like. But within that, of course, I have my own story, and I don't want to give too much of it away, but let's say that inclusion plays a big part in that. And so it really gave me a lot of pleasure to and pride to be able to be on the TEDx stage to tell that story, but also to give people what I feel are quite valuable yet simple lessons, if you like, and steps that they can take moving forward to promote inclusion in the workplace as well as in the home. I'll kind of give contact details a bit later if that's okay, but that's kind of the essence of who I am and what I do.
Awesome. Fascinating. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so can you share one fact about yourself that perhaps only your friends would know?
Ooh, there's lots of things about me that only my friends would know. I recorded a music CD about 5 years ago.
Wow.
I like to think I'm a bit of a songstress, and I used to do much more of it years ago. But it was one of those things that was just on my bucket list. I just want to record an album, and so I mean it's decidedly average, I have to say, but I'm really happy with the fact that I got to do it. So there we go.
Jackie, that's awesome. How many people can say, I've recorded an album?
Well, I know.
Regardless of whether it's average or not? That's a fantastic achievement. And I bet it's not average. I've seen you speak, so I'm sure your musical talent is right up there. Wow, awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Jackie, tell us a little bit about, without obviously giving too much away, a little bit about why you wanted to give the speech that you gave at TEDx Telford.
Okay, so I'm 45, and I've had, as I've mentioned already, quite a lengthy career within corporate. Although I now run my own business, and some of that time's been quite tough. Actually, I had quite a personal journey growing up, and that journey I think has continued into my adult life. And there's been a few struggles and hiccups on the journey because of really who I am and my own limiting beliefs of how who I am could hold me back in the corporate world. Now, there's a caveat here to say that actually I spent a long time, many years actually, with one organisation that I don't feel it would have particularly been a problem within, but let's just say I stayed in the closet for many years just as a self-protection mechanism. As things stand in society right now, the topics of diversity and inclusion are becoming more prevalent. They're on the agenda at last, what with various different campaigns, whether that be, Me Too campaigns and gender equality or whatever that might be. And I felt maybe for the first time that I was in a position where not only, I've been able to be me, if that makes sense, in my own world for many years, but I felt for the first time that I was in a position to share that message, and furthermore, my thoughts on how others can, whatever their social group and whatever their background, but how others can just take really simple yet small steps to potentially make significant change, not only in their homes or in their workplace, but in society in general. And when I saw, I still have it here actually, the program, and with the theme, I hope it might be sort of inside out, back to front on the camera, but when I saw the theme of not business as usual, I kind of thought, ping, the topic of diversity and inclusion and the way in which perhaps we, I'm not going to say should change, but I would like to see us change. It is definitely something that seems to fit with that theme, and I applied, and the rest is history.
Wow, amazing. It's so nice to hear. I think that you were able to, be true to yourself and live your life outside of work. But I think, like many, having to, or feeling like you had to put that, work mask on, or that different work persona, can be exhausting, I think, amongst many other emotions. How would you say you managed your mental health and well-being in that situation?
Great question. And even just up until I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 10 years ago, which is really recent history, I don't think the acknowledgement of workplace mental health was as widely known about, certainly widespread, I'm sure, but widely known about, and furthermore positively acted on as it is today. I really struggle to answer that question, because I suppose, in short, with difficulty. I think because the one thing that has never diminished in my life, and I'm very forever thankful for that, is the love and support of my close friends and family, and that, I think, and having that strength of the core of love really is what helps carry you through, and I think it also empowers you to whatever it is in the world you're doing, whether it's coming out of the closet, or whether it's gaining a promotion, or moving jobs, or going it alone. I think if you've got that support network behind you, and I feel very lucky, actually, and very blessed that I have, because that's really what helped get me through, I think. I also, like many people, worked in a very highly competitive and I'm not going to say aggressive environment, because that paints the wrong picture, but it had its moments, as most corporate environments do. And so there's enough pressure anyway, if that makes sense, to perform in your role and to move up through the ranks and so on, without having these extra kind of bits of baggage to kind of feel like you're in part hiding part of who you are, and gradually I became more comfortable to bring more of myself to the table, and I thank my friends and family in particular, but also I do think as well I felt very comfortable with the close group of colleagues I was working with at the time to be able to do that, and that really helped. So if anybody's watching this that maybe, I don't know, is in a similar position to me, and you'll see all of the story really, or certainly more of the story on the video when it comes out, or indeed they think they might have somebody in their workplace that is going through something similar. check in, please. Check in, encourage, give them a safe space, give them permission, because you'll get so much out of that person once they can truly open up and be themselves in whatever shape or form that is.
Right. Absolutely. What a brilliant, brilliant, piece of advice. And I think as well, if you are that person checking in with another and potentially enabling them and empowering them to be themselves, how amazing is that going to make you feel too?
Yeah, absolutely. And, as you know, Jen, because you've seen it, but, the messages in my TEDx story are really simple ones. Diversity and inclusion is not a HR issue. It is not for your HR function to be looking at. It is diversity and inclusion is the responsibility of us all. And, I think I may have said it already, but, small steps from everyone can create massive ripples and huge changes for the world.
Yes, absolutely. And, it's probably worth sharing with people watching. Jackie uses some brilliant, simple stories, but some amazing comedy, which I won't spoil, but watch out for it. It's well worth watching to make such a serious subject as impactful as you did, with that level of comedy in it as well, was just fantastic. And as I recall, got a standing ovation.
Oh, I did. I was a little bit overwhelmed actually by that.
Right, and very well deserved too.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. It meant a lot, because it told me that it wasn't about performance, although we all know that whenever you give a speech or a talk or presentation, there is an element of performance. And of course, I think what comedy does is it almost gives your audience permission to lighten up what is actually quite a dark story, and in parts, and so it was very consciously used. But I think the when I saw people standing was really humbling, and it touched me hugely that my story had touched them to such a degree. So it meant more than I could ever say, actually.
Absolutely. And let's be honest, us British, we're not so great at being demonstrative with our applause and emotions, aren't we? So to get a standing ovation, I think, is a big, big deal. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Jackie, I think that probably wraps up our interview for today. But thank you so much for sharing. And I'm going to look out for your music.
Yeah, please do. And, just very quickly, if anyone wants to get in touch, my website is www.runwayglobal.co.uk. That's all one word, runway, not runaway. runwayglobal.co.uk. I'm on LinkedIn, Jackie Handy, and I really welcome any connections. It's always good to share. And finally, I have a YouTube channel as well, which is also Runway Global, where I share a few videos just with my thoughts. They're quite casually filmed, very much like this, but my thoughts on goals, motivation, life, etc. So there's a few things on there. So I'd welcome any comments or contact, etc.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I would definitely recommend following at runwayglobal.com and, experiencing Jackie on that regular basis. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jackie.
Likewise, Jen. Thank you for taking the time and out of your day to do this. I really appreciate it. I'll see you again really soon.
All right. Look forward to it. Take care.
Bye.